Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Friday, TGIF Friday, June the 20th. We're here to look at the rest of the new releases that were published this week. And on Freeform Friday, we usually look at what's left from Monday's Cozy Mysteries because there's always a lot of them. But then if we have time, there are some other books that have caught my attention that I would like to highlight that don't necessarily fall in those categories. Good morning, Kim. You made it. Hope you had a good night. Let us jump in. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Friday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow afternoon, Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern. We left off here. Wedding cakes and wakes. I guess that would be a version of For Weddings and a Funeral. 6 in the Small Town Girl Mysteries by Jan Franklin. Private investigator Eve Delafosse has her hands full in the quaint southern village of Graceville. I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong, I'm sure. Louisiana. As the proud best man person for Shorty and Annabelle's wedding, she's determined to pull off the perfect small town celebration, including tracking down the elusive groom's cake recipe. As usual, things start to get complicated. A beloved local's funeral is scheduled for the same time as the wedding, and a group of disgruntled single ladies decide to protest the nuptials. Then her little sister Mab blows into town with a charming new boyfriend in tow. Now Eve really has her hands full. Chaos brews and secrets simmer while Eve juggles wedding preparations, scheduling nightmares, and a mysterious threat that looms a little too close to home. Can she keep the peace in Graceville, serve up a successful wedding, and still find the right cake to bake? I have a sneeze. Excuse me. Before the big day devolves into full-blown bedlam, or will Mad's dramatic reappearance stir up more trouble for the village than even a practiced PI can solve? Not that big of a deal. Churches, particularly big churches, have multiple events on a day all the time. So I think you're having some made-up controversy. Just me. Good afternoon, Helen. How is it going with ya? Hi, Mary. How'd your day? Okay, had a great day yesterday with family, fun, and so wonderful to see everyone. The great-grands are so cute. Oh, I'm glad. I'm so glad. What did you have for lunch? And Mary says, hi, Kim. Glad to see you. And Kim says, you too, Mary. Yay. All right. Murder Under a Mystic Moon by Abigail Kern, 14th in the Mona Moon Mysteries. Needed some sustenance. High society sleuth Mona Moon and her husband, Robert Farley, Duke of Brinelith, are on the last leg of their honeymoon. They are island hopping in the sunny Mediterranean Sea, sightseeing all the ancient archaeological ruins before returning home to Mooncrest Farm in Kentucky. They find it odd that they keep running into old friends like Agatha Christie and associates along their way. Yeah, my old friends, Agatha Christie. A sixth sense is telling Mona that danger is slowly closing in, but she has no idea how it will manifest itself. Will Mona's dream honeymoon turn into a nightmare? Well, you're on your last leg. You've had a very good time. You've probably solved some crimes along the way since this is your 14th book. You should just solve a crime where you are and stay there for a while, because there probably won't be another crime, odds are, for a while. Hi, Emily. How is the noise level this morning at 7 o'clock your time? And how soon can you talk to the powers that be? Have a Nice Day in Homicide by Patty Larson, first in the Fleming Family Cozy Mysteries. And she's holding is she a ventriloquist? The peace and quiet that settle over Reading Vermont for 2.5 years has never meant to last. And wouldn't you know it, Fiona Fleming is once again at the center of the vortex of murder, mayhem, and mystery. It's not her fault that despite a brief reprieve that allowed her to raise her twin daughters into their terrible twos without a crime of her own to solve, things are taking a turn for the homicidal again. She's minding her own business when a TV show comes to town, filming on location for the 100th episode celebration of the White Valley Lodge, or that her twins love Have a Nice Day and the adorable puppets that bring it to life. She's just doing her due when the trouble begins. The fighting breaks out and a body drops. At least she has her beloved Daisy Bruce back to lend a helping hand, if only for a little while. But with the new town chief unreliable at best and not her biggest fan, who's surprised, Fee's written into the drama when she finds her next corpse. Can she sort out who killed the beloved cast member of her kid's favorite show before the killer wraps for this season? Looks like this is a spin-off from Daisy Bruce Cozy Mysteries. Hence all the talk of taking a break from crime solving, and this is a first book. That mystery solved without even a body. Mary said she had roasted beet salad and grilled salmon. That sounds really good. Bread was outstanding. I could live on bread. Cranberry and pistachio, yum to all of it. Such a real French restaurant feeling in Richmond. That sounds lovely. And she says hi to Helen and Emily. And Emily, no noise yet. They didn't stop working last night until after 10. They better not. They better have just been pushing through. Let's just get it done and not have to be there today. And Emily says hi to Mary. Last Dance Before Dawn. Sorry, I need to scooch here. By Catherine Shellman, fourth in the Nightingale Mysteries. Vivian Kelly has finally created a home and a family at the glamorous speakeasy known as the Nightingale, where no one cares who you are in the daytime. After all, in the underground world of 1920s New York City, everyone has a secret to keep, and they're on the Nightingale's dance floor to leave those secrets behind. But sometimes it takes more than a dance to escape your past. When a stranger from Chicago shows up at the Nightingale looking to settle old scores, Vivian and the Nightingale's owner, the mysterious and alluring Honor Huxley, send him packing. They soon discover, though, that the stranger was just a warning. Slowly, the people who have made the Nightingale their home realize that someone is following them, hunting them, and that someone won't stop until they unravel a mystery that's been cold for years. A missing girl, a boy out for revenge, and a truck full of cash that disappeared in a job gone horribly wrong. Vivian just wants to protect the people she loves, and she's willing to dig into the dirt of the past to make it happen. But some questions are safer left unanswered. And now that Vivian has built a family for herself, she has more to lose than ever before. And I didn't realize until now that on the cover it's a spilled glass. I was just thinking it was a pretty design. End of that row. Murder Italian Style. What was that show? American Love American Style. Remember that? And Kim says, that's crazy, Emily. Emily says, no, they will be here today because when I got home around 8:30, they were trying to figure out how to secure a tarp to the roof. I just want to be home. This is by Diane Valere, and 16th in the Killer Fashion Mystery. Cozy with a chance of meatballs. When style expert Samantha Kidd plans a holiday in Italy, she expects scenic piazzas, endless pasta, and maybe a little romance, not a murder mystery older than her passport. Samantha's idyllic vacation comes to a screeching halt when a favor for her host pulls her into a decades-old mystery and lands her in more hot water than her morning espresso. The case, the murder of Alfredo, the town's most hated man. The suspect, Pasquale, a mild-mannered cobbler who has spent decades in prison for the crime. The twist? Samantha's host should have been Pasquale's alibi if she hadn't left town that night to start invasive cancer treatments in Switzerland. Armed with her quick wit, a love of gelato, and the undercover help of her shoe designer husband, Samantha will need all the luck she can muster to solve the crime and make it through her getaway alive. Who needs luck when she has her love of gelato? And she's probably armed with sharp wit, too. Criminals Beware. Murder Under the Cliff by Leslie Cookman. 27th in the Libby Sargent Murder Mysteries. Good for Leslie. An investigation into the sale of a plot of land takes a darker turn when a body is found on a cliffside. Libby Sargent and her friend Fran reluctantly agree to investigate the case. It's clear that there's more than a dodgy development deal at play, but can Libby and Fran unravel the puzzling case before it's too late? And that's it. We like those. We don't have to know everything in the summary. Just enough to say, I'm intrigued. Oh, I'm being snarky. I'm sorry. And Kim says my parents watched it. Oh, Love American Style? I remember it being on. Mary, this coming week is going to be hot as 98 most days. Yuck. Oh boy, I guess I will break down and turn on the AC. Yeah? It's strong, maybe. Not looking forward to that kind of heat with our humidity too. That's true. Yuck. I am not a heat girl. Owl of Your Dreams by Leanne Leeds, 19th in the Owl Star Witch Mysteries. When a mystical star card directs witch Astra Arden to help Mrs. Finch, Forkbridge's most vocal anti-witch crusader, she can hardly believe it. But when the elderly woman herself appears at Astra's door, terrified by supernatural occurrences in her home, Astra knows she can't ignore divine guidance. And you know what? I'm just going to keep moving on. Got a lot to get through. And they what do you mean page not found? Well, if you want to look further, this is called Misty Blue Malice by Emily Overton. It has apparently disappeared. Maybe it's been pulled from publication. I don't know. Quilty Until Proven Innocent by Samantha Price, 30th in the Eddie Smith Amish Mysteries. Well, you can crank out 30 of them if they only have 165 pages. You've written 15 books, put them together. Okay, now the snark is really just a snark thunderstorm and it's passing now. When world-famous quilt historian Clara Weaver brings her YouTube channel Quilt or Quit to the annual charity auction, the peaceful Amish community gets more publicity than they bargained for, especially when someone is found dead beneath a display of antique quilts. For Eddie and her sister Elsa May, something about this death doesn't quite patch up. The local detective may be looking for loose threads in all the wrong places, but Eddie and her sister know every stitch tells a story. As they dig deeper into the victim's last days, they uncover a pattern of deception. Can they piece together the truth before it's too late? Good thing we don't have a drinking game about puns. We'd be floating away. Cindy Stark, Mystic Love, 5th in the Mystic Village Paranormal Cozy Mysteries. Did I say by Cindy Stark? Mystic Love. Kaylee Kennedy is finally settling into life as the owner of Enchanted Elements, her metaphysical shop in picturesque Mystic Village, with her fluffy orange familiar Butternut by her side. But my name is Nigel. Life is magical, if not entirely peaceful. But when Gladys Bright, local quilt shop owner and Kaylee's most vocal critic, is disqualified from the prestigious Mystic Quilt Festival for allegedly using magic, she reluctantly turns to Kaylee for help. The accusation is preposterous. Gladys despises everything supernatural, yet when Kaylee examines the quilt, she discovers an ancient spell woven into the vintage fabric, magic that wasn't Gladys's doing at all. As Kaylee investigates, she uncovers a tangled web of rivalries, broken friendships, and a deadly secret. With the help of Butternut, her bestie Jenna, and maybe even handsome detective Nick Monroe, if Kaylee can summon the courage to make the first move, Kaylee must unravel the mystery of the magical quilt. Well, that just tells me don't get involved in quilting. There's murder attached. There's crime. Mary says she's not a heat girl either. Blech, don't like it. Kim, I love the theme song. I can still sing it. Oh, yeah. And Mary, good thing it's Friday. Yes, the snark has been building. She needs a nap. The Dacre Dilemma by Rebecca Tope, 15th in the Lake District Mysteries. Simi Brown is 4 months pregnant, working partly from home, partly from her Windermere florist shop, and very much feeling her age when her husband Christopher asks her to deliver flowers to Eleanor Paget. As an expert in antique textiles, see, quilting, Eleanor has been a considerable help to him at his auction house. The visit out to the charming Lake District village of Dacre is squeezed into Simi's endless to-do list. It is a moment of calm to appreciate the approach of spring and the interesting churchyard, but this is shattered when she discovers the body of a young man among the graves. It's not long before Simi once again finds herself in a complex and puzzling investigation, led by D.I. Moxon and aided by her friends Ben and Bonnie. It's Ben and Bonnie. Bad Egg by A.A. Albright, which is actually the initials AAA. Just do your initials A. 6. Museum of Magical Artifacts. It's never easy to deal with a dragon. I say this all the time. Once again, Annie and the gang are hunting for the chalice. This time, they're journeying into the museum's mysterious lost and found rooms, only it's not quite a room. It's an enormous bloody valley. Mick believes that a dragon has taken the chalice to her mountain, and if they want it back, they'll have to give the dragon something called a bad egg. Comments. There's only one problem. Right before they're due to get their hands on one of these eggs, someone else swoops in and takes it. The gang are determined to pursue the egg thief and to get Fee's wand before that can be stolen too. But as soon as they arrive in the valley, they realize the latest quest is going to be far more difficult than they thought. There's a killer in the valley, leaving bodies in their path. ... End of that road. To Have and to Kill, Book 2, The Wedded Bliss Mystery Series by Christine Lawrence. Business is booming at The Wedded Bliss, and owner Leah Jordan couldn't be happier. They're holding their first bridal shower, and it's proving to be quite the undertaking. However, Leah and her team are up for the challenge. Just as things are underway, 2 of the show's exhibitors get into a huge disagreement. After a little intervention and rearranging, the issue seems to be resolved. Until day 2, when one of them goes missing and turns up dead. While her team struggles to keep the bridal show from falling apart, the florist, one of their premier vendors, is arrested. Leah makes it her mission to locate the real killer and prove their innocence before they end up withering away in a cell. I haven't taken my allergy medicine yet, and I can tell. Journals, Lies, and a Ghost in Disguise by Nellie H. Steele, 5th in the Lily and Cassie by the Sea mysteries. When mother-daughter duo Lily Bennett and Cassie McGuire travel to Savannah in search of a legendary pirate's journal, they expect a thrilling adventure, just not one that comes with a supernatural interference. The ghost of Henrietta Nichols is determined to use the journal to communicate more. But their search takes a dark turn when the man Clifton inhabits, local tech whiz Nate Johnson, is accused of murder. With time running out, Lily and Cassie return to Hideaway Bay to prove his innocence, only to find themselves caught in a tangled web of lies, danger, and spectral secrets. Skeletons, Secrets, and Speakeasies, a Willow Croft Cozy Mystery Book 2 by Fran Heap. Not a cat or a pig. I think it's a cat. Tammy Rumbelow never imagined her fresh start in small town Michigan would lead her into decades-old mysteries, but beneath the cozy book readings and bakery scents, Willowcroft hides the tangled roots of betrayal, buried truths, and a heist that was never meant to be uncovered. With the help of her cat and a mismatched team of amateur sleuths, including a bestseller and a bookseller and genealogist, a tech-savvy teen, a sharp-eyed retiree, and a former sheriff, Tammy stumbles upon a hidden past woven through dusty tunnels, long-lost letters, and the fading whispers of woman history tried to forget. Together, they'll piece together a mystery that spans generations, one that may rewrite everything the town thought it knew. You don't know nothing. Okay. That is, we had looked at the others on Monday. We had gone in reverse order to start with because there were some big names down there. Here are the ones that I thought were very interesting to highlight. We'll go in reverse order here as well. This is a nonfiction. V is for Venom, Agatha Christie's Chemicals of Death. 14 stories, 14 more poisons. Just because it's fiction doesn't mean it's all made up. So this is a follow-up to A is for Arsenic, and this is an exploration of Christie's use of poisons and her extensive chemical knowledge. I thought that was kind of interesting if you wanted to dive deep in Agatha Christie. This is fiction before Dorothy. Long before Dorothy visits Oz, her aunt, Emily Gale, sets off on her own grand adventure, leaving gritty Chicago behind for Kansas and a life that will utterly change her. This is the second Oz type book I've encountered. First one I very much enjoyed. It was after Dorothy. Different authors. The author who wrote that one had passed. Threads of Empire. This is a nonfiction. A history of the world in 12 carpets. Dorothy Armstrong is the author, and she's a carpet specialist. She tells the story surrounding the 12 of the world's most fascinating carpets, which you wouldn't think is exciting, but you know, think about it. There's those Turkish carpets and all that. That sounded really cool. I like learning history that way. And this last one is fiction, The Stolen Life of Colette Marceau. It's a pretty cover. This is by Kristen Harmel. A novel about two jewel thieves, a priceless bracelet that disappears in 1940s Paris, and a quest for answers in a decades-old murder. So, and the bell rings. Look at that! Got it all done. Woohoo! All right. Thank you, guys. That is it for this week. It's not everything published, but it is a good chunk. Again, I don't have any sprints tonight. Our next sprints are tomorrow afternoon at 3 for 5 hours. Next week, a whole brand new batch of books being published next week, starting with the Cozy Mysteries on Monday. Hope you have a good rest of your Friday. Hope you have a good weekend if I don't see you. And Kim says, have a great day, y'all. Indeed. And Emily, find some a hiding place, some quiet, hopefully, and make whatever calls you need to blast somebody's ear. And Mary says, thanks so much. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Stay cool. You too. Turn on the AC and have some fun. Laugh too. That is very good advice. Back at you, baby. All right. Thank you. Thank you. And be safe, be cool, be happy. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Have a good day. God bless.